And so we saw last year, or in 2021, firms actually vying to pay their brokers more. This year kind of reverted more on trend, where we saw commission rates drop, widen out a bit, trying to do more business with more regional brokers. This is another interesting thing. For years, we've been, asking them, okay, who do we think is going to succeed in the future? The last year or two, we've actually seen a resurgence towards smaller, and mid-tier type brokers. So they're looking to really differentiate their views, and get research, get services, get insight from a wider group of brokers. And it's really interesting that the sell side is saying that, they see the mid-tier guys gaining share just as readily as the bulge bracket. So very interesting changing views from buy-side traders.
That is really interesting. Does that continue if we have more volatility and craziness in the market?
Yeah, I think that does continue. I do think the number of brokers they'll use will widen out. The smaller brokers will wind up trying to offer, more keen insight, more differentiated views. The one interesting thing you see dichotomy here is that when you wind up with these large brokers, yes, they accumulate more flow and you can get access to better, in some cases, larger amounts of liquidity from these large players. But on the other hand, if you're trying to get research or services, the things that you're getting from one of these large guys is not only going to you, but going to, 1,000 of your competitors. Whereas if you're dealing with a mid-tier guy, or you're dealing with a more niche guy, who doesn't have the same distribution as a JPMC, let's say, you're going to get a more unique view, or a view that's going to get acted on less than someone who has 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 clients.
Hey Larry, awesome stuff. Really appreciate Larry Tabb of Bloomberg Intelligence, head of market structure research.
All right, let's turn now to PayPal, which could deliver 10% revenue growth this year, nearly doubling the company's assumptions. For more, we welcome Bloomberg Intelligence senior financials analyst Diksha Gera. So where's the upside in the PayPal model, Diksha?
So I think two things. Firstly, everyone's aware that e-commerce had a good run and COVID kind of gave a bit of more, much needed boost on that. But we are seeing some headwinds to discretionary spend, and people are concerned, so is management, that, costs need to come down. So their projections for their budgeting is of 5% revenue growth. But if you just look at the momentum that they've built, trying to match two sides of the ecosystem, which is both merchants and users via that PayPal and Venmo app, I think they're building quite a few competitive moats, and that's going to help them increase their volume growth. I'm assuming a 10-11% volume growth for the year, and that's what I'm basing my 10% revenue growth target on.
So what kind of areas can they expand in? Can you elaborate on that one?
So there are actually a lot of areas where PayPal is kind of really picking up the baton on. And there is a lot of concern around Apple Pay gaining market share, or Cash App coming in and kind of targeting that core Venmo user base. But if you look at PayPal, it has been a leader and still is a leader on global online payments. By online payments, I mean e-commerce payments on the web. And that is their anchor point to address and expand. So the user base is very committed, it's very loyal, and what they're trying to do is use that strength of online payments to provide them other services, including in-store services, including your digital wallet. And the same thing they're doing with merchants. So smaller merchants who were so comfortable with the security and the ubiquity and the ease of using a PayPal payment, they're trying to expand that and bringing in more enterprise-like features for those merchants, and also providing them an omni-channel experience. So you can use a PayPal for an in-store payment, you can use it for your web-based payments, and you can use the same checkout process for your mobile payments.
It seems like, having partnerships across the retail ecosystem is key for these players here. Talk to us about PayPal, because they were, as you mentioned, one of the original players in the space. They certainly have great brand recognition. Talk to us about the partnerships they have and maybe some more that you're looking forward to.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So, PayPal is a name that every mom and pop knows. It's been around for a while. But if you think about it, all the smaller merchants who never had the convenience of enterprise features for taking payments, they all know PayPal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And PayPal is not sitting back on its laurels. It is aggressively going out and marketing with newer companies. It's partnering with the banks. You name the banks, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Capital One. It's partnering with the card network. So all the debit and credit cards are on there. It's partnering with the digital wallets, call it Apple Pay, Google Pay. So it's going ahead and engaging the entire ecosystem to make it more seamless and easy for you to handle any and every sort of payment on its platform.
Coming up, we'll get more on PayPal's revenue growth outlook with Bloomberg Intelligence senior financials analyst Diksha Gera.
You're listening to Bloomberg Intelligence on Bloomberg Radio, providing in-depth research and data on 2,000 companies in 130 industries. You can access Bloomberg Intelligence through BI Go on the terminal. I'm Alex Steele.
And I'm Paul Sweeney, and this is Bloomberg.
World markets, headlines, and breaking news 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com and the Bloomberg Business app. This is Bloomberg 1130. Now, a global news update.
Vice President Harris says Russia will be held accountable for war crimes in Ukraine. Speaking today at the Munich Security Conference, Harris told the gathering the U.S. has examined the evidence and put the Kremlin on notice.
To all those who have perpetrated these crimes, and to their superiors who are complicit in these crimes, you will be held to account.
Harris said justice must be served on behalf of all the victims, both the known and the unknown. President Biden will travel to Poland early next week ahead of the one-year anniversary of Russia's war on Ukraine. Biden will meet with the Polish president and leaders of the Bucharest Nine. The death toll from the earthquake in Turkey and Syria is now over 45,000. Officials expect that number to keep rising as over 250,000 homes and apartments were reduced to rubble by a massive earthquake that struck both countries earlier this month. That's the latest. I'm Julie Ryan.
Now, your 3-day weather forecast on Bloomberg 1130.
Plenty of sunshine to enjoy today and a high getting up towards 45 degrees. Tonight, increasing clouds, low about 35. Tomorrow, warming up again, mostly cloudy, breezy, high near 50. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, low near 45. And Monday, more clouds than sun, chance for a shower, and a high all the way up near 60 degrees. That's your Bloomberg 3-day weather forecast. I'm Susanna Palmer. Now a check of Bloomberg Sports.
It's NBA All-Star Weekend in Salt Lake City. Today's events include the Skills Challenge, the three-point and slam dunk contests. The Islanders skate in Boston, the Devils in Pittsburgh. Eric Bieniemy and the Washington Commanders have finalized a deal to make him their new offensive coordinator. Bieniemy wasn't the primary play caller during his 5 seasons with Kansas City, but he will be with Washington. Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Pat Gasol, and Greg Popovich are among the finalists of the 2023 class of the Basketball Hall of Fame. That's a Bloomberg Sports Update. I'm Joel Stern.
Global market news changes in an instant, so don't miss a minute. Listen to Bloomberg 1130 anytime, anywhere around the world on the iHeartRadio app. Tune in the Bloomberg Business app and Bloomberg.com.
As a Walgreens pharmacist, I talk with people all the time about little tips and tricks for filling their Medicare prescriptions, like taking advantage of Walgreens 90-day refills to save them a trip, or using Refill by Scan, which is super easy and right on your phone. And for anybody worried about prescription costs, I say, hey, we got you, with low-cost copays on many medications.
Let's talk about making things easier. Walgreens is here. Fill your way and save at walgreens.com/Medicare. See pharmacists for restrictions and exclusions.
Dear Calvary Hospital, my father, Curtis Moore, is my hero. Now 96 years old, he has led an exceptional life of self-sacrifice. A Moffett Point Marine, a New York City detective, and a family man who cared for his children and grandchildren his entire life. So when other hospitals could no longer relieve his suffering or our family's emotional pain, we brought in Calvary's miraculous team of home hospice experts. Thanks to Calvary's doctors, nurses, and social workers, Dad was able to resume the quality of life he wanted and deserved. and I was able to become his daughter again, surrounded by the love of his entire family. Thank you, Calvary. Phyllis Robinson.
This is Frank Calamari, president of Calvary Hospital. With Calvary at Home, experience our unique Calvary care right in your own home. Call us today at 718-518-2465.
Your clients all have unique financial journeys. So why should their investment options be one size fits all? When you partner with Commonwealth Financial Network, you gain access to a comprehensive range of holistic investment solutions that you can customize according to your client's goals. Welcome to freedom of flexibility. Welcome to Commonwealth. To learn more, visit commonwealth.com. Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
This is Tom Keene. I'm Jonathan Farrow.
And I'm Lisa Abramovic.
Join us Tuesday morning for Bloomberg Surveillance.
The distance to an American recession. We speak with Mark Giannani of Barclays.
And on the shift in narrative from disinflation to something new, we speak with Nicola Mai of PIMCO.
Bloomberg Surveillance Tuesday morning, starting at 7 a.m. on Bloomberg 1130, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com.
And watch us on Bloomberg Television Xfinity Channel 1122.
You're listening to Bloomberg Intelligence with Alex Steele and Paul Sweeney on Bloomberg Radio.
Now let's get back to our conversation on PayPal's revenue growth outlook. Bloomberg Intelligence Senior Financials Analyst Diksha Gera is still with us. Do these guys wind up just stealing customers from each other, or is the pie just that big that they can grow?
So there is a secular growth in digital payments, right? There is one common enemy. That's cash and that's check. So they are all...
You're killing Paul. He is a cash and check kind of guy.
Yep. Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, if you look at the younger cohort that is so loyal to Venmo, you have that customer base. People argue that Cash App is kind of chipping away at some of that. But, I mean, let's not forget the fact that there are still a lot of people in the heartlands that still use cash. Mm-hmm. So all of these digital wallets on an aggregate are going to gain shares still. And looking at that model itself, and there is, of course, the competitive intensity is increasing, but I still feel very confident about like them kind of being able to increase more share of volume. A lot of flows which are not digitized or capturable earlier are becoming more and more viable for these companies now.
Well, I can tell you that the pandemic, I'm sure the data shows, accelerated penetration of digital payments, because even I use it so much more now than I did even a few years ago. But I look at the stock here, Diksha, the stock is up about 9% year to date. I look at the ANR function for analyst ratings, 37 buys, 14 holds, 1 sell. So it seems to be definitely a positive bias for this stock. What does this company need to do to move its stock higher over the next couple of years?
So I think the best thing that they're doing right now is not just sitting on their past wins, and they're aggressively updating their tech stack. I think that's something that is a very, very important thing to note, because a lot of large enterprises who had that success earlier on are losing to these incoming disruptors, aka your Squares and Blocks and the new companies, right? PayPal is not doing that. PayPal is running fast. It's building on both sides of the ecosystem. So that competitive moat is going to help them. The second thing is that they're using their strengths to their advantage, right? Their ubiquity with the small, medium businesses, that's a very, very lucrative set of customers. They are going across channels with them. They've launched something called as a PayPal Commercial Platform, PPCP. And that platform basically allows all SMBs to kind of take payments across channels, and they're moving the new tech stack across through that platform. Maybe e-commerce discretionary spend will take a hit, as you know, a lot of economies kind of go through those macro headwinds. But once the market comes back, and we all know it will, at that point in time, PayPal is ready to take on more and like scale much faster. So that's what we are looking for.
Before I let you go, what's something that PayPal's done that didn't work?
So I think that China piece is the stuff that I think it's kind of a wild card for them. And the reason I say that is because if you look at just the way China has expanded, it's almost 37% of global e-commerce market share. eBay was PayPal's predominant point in China. And then what happened across, I think 2021 is that they split ways with eBay. eBay found another partner called Payoneer, which is kind of helping them with selling to or letting Chinese merchants get paid in China. And we all know what Chinese merchants' presence in global e-commerce has become. If you look at Amazon, a lot of sellers are Chinese merchants. So if you don't have your China strategy in place, that is going to be a major blunder. So I think that's the leg that they really need to kind of fix and work on. And they wanted to introduce a cross-border wallet there. I checked with the company, they don't have much updates around that. I think that's the area which they really need to kind of get their act together on. The good thing is that ecosystem is still evolving. eBay lost its second leading position in global e-commerce to Alibaba. Then you have the Chinese entrants that are coming to the US. PayPal can be a great partner for them. So all is not lost, but I think that's the piece that I really want to see them do something about.
Diksha, great work. Diksha Garrett joining us, Bloomberg Intelligence Senior Financials Analyst.
That's this week's edition of Bloomberg Intelligence on Bloomberg Radio, providing in-depth research and data on 2,000 companies and 130 industries.
And remember, you can access Bloomberg Intelligence through BI Go on the terminal. I'm Alex Steele.
And I'm Paul Sweeney. Stay with us. Today's top stories and global business headlines are coming up right now.
From the financial capital of the world, broadcasting across the globe, this is WBBR New York, Bloomberg 1130. Now,